Hello students, today first we'll summarize what we have studied previously. Okay, in last video we have seen biological classification, and in that chapter we have studied 5 kingdoms of classification such as first kingdom Monera, then Protista, then kingdom Fungi, then kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Okay, so out of these 5 only 3 we have studied in detail. So today we will study fourth kingdom, that is the plant kingdom. Okay. Now in this chapter plant kingdom we have different groups of plants. Again the classification of plants into different groups such as algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. So in this chapter plant kingdom we will study characteristic of all these groups, okay, and why they are classified into different groups and how to identify them. Now first, before we start the class, or before we start the lesson, so first we should know the little history about the classification. Now artificial system of classification proposed by Linnaeus. He classified the plant based on the morphological characters such as habit, color, number and shape of leaves. So these characters is used for classification. Now based mainly on vegetative characters or on the androecium structure. His system of classification was based on vegetative characters and androecium, which is the male reproductive organ. It gives equal weightage to vegetative and sexual characteristic. Now second system of classification is natural classification system, which was proposed by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. Bentham and Hooker system of classification. So based on the natural affinities among the organism, external as well as internal features like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology and phytochemistry was considered in the classifying the plants. Okay, now these two scientists, they gave broad system or more in detail classification, including more detailed structures such as internal features, then ultrastructure, then anatomy, then they consider embryology, study of embryo, and even the chemicals present in the plant. So they study all these character and then classify the plants into different groups. Now another system of classification is the phylogenetic classification system. This is based on the evolutionary relationship between the various organisms. So how they are evolved. So which organism evolved first, and organism belonging to same taxa have a common ancestor. Okay. Now you can see here, so this is called as the phylogenetic classification system. You can refer this diagram. You can see. So birds and crocodile, they have the same type of evolution. They come from the eggs with shells. Okay, so they must be having common ancestor here. So although they are two different species, but they may have common ancestor here. Then those animals which have hair, they may be having common ancestor. So phylogenetic classification is based on the evolutionary relationship. Now another system of classification is the numerical taxonomy. So this is carried out using computers and based on all observable characters. Okay. So each system numerical taxonomy using computer, the data is fed in the computer and सगळे observable characters असा ते feed करता. So here numbers and codes are assigned to all the characters and the data are then processed. So प्रत्येक character say leaf, then flower, तांकां number दिता आणि तेजे वयल्यान तो data process करता. Each character is given equal importance. At the same time hundreds of characters can be considered. So याची एक advantage म्हटल्यार so many characters can be considered at the same time in the system. Now next system of classification, the fifth one is the cytotaxonomy. So this is based on cytological information like chromosome number, structure, behavior of the cell. Okay. Okay, now chromosome in the cell, in the nucleus you will find chromosome. So how many chromosomes are present? So depending upon the number of chromosome also, the plants can be grouped into different species. Okay, so this is based on the cytotaxon, that is the cell structure behavior. Then chemotaxonomy uses the chemical constituent of the plant to resolve confusion. Sometimes what happens, we get two closely related species. इतले close असता की तांका differentiate करपाक very difficult जाता. So then scientists use the chemical constituents. So they do the chemical analysis and see if if there is any difference between the chemical composition of the plant, and based on that they use that characters to group the plants into different species or the category. Now kingdom Plantae, as I told you, it is classified into 5 different groups, that is algae, bryophytes, pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. Now for you all, angiosperm is not there since the syllabus is curtailed. So angiosperm group is not included in your study. So we will study only these 4 group. Now first one is the algae. Now algae, you know, it is found in the diverse habitat. So wherever there is a moisture, you will find algae. So they may be present in pond, then estuaries, puddles, paddy fields, rivers, waterfalls, then aquafarms, salt pans, or the fishiculture, then in the sea. So wherever there is a water, you will find algae growing in that habitat. So these are the habitats of the algae. Now characteristic of algae, they are chlorophyll bearing. It consists of chlorophyll pigments. Simple thalloid. Now what is thalloid? So those plants which do not have true root stem, they are called as the thalloid. Then they are autotrophic. You know that what is autotrophic, they prepare their own food, and largely aquatic, both fresh water and marine. So that means they are found in fresh water also and marine water also. Now habitats, they are found, habitats means the place where they live. They are found on moist stones, soils and wood. Also occur in association with fungi. They are called as the lichens. We have already discussed this. And animals, example on sloth bear, means they are sometimes found epiphytic also. The size ranges from microscopic unicellular such as Chlamydomonas or to multicellular organism, then microscopic to multicellular. Okay, so microscopic or unicellular example is Chlamydomonas. Then colonial, so they are found also in colonies such as volvox. Then filamentous such as Ulothrix, Spirogera, and marine forms such as scale. Okay, they belong to Laminaceae. Now this scale is the largest algae. Now we'll see the unicellular algae. So they are grouped into different based on their structure. So they are unicellular. Unicellular made up of one cell. So you can see the beautiful algae, unicellular algae. So some has good pattern design. Okay, so this is Chlamydomonas. Okay, this is Cosmerium. This is Microsterias. So you don't have to remember the names, just I'm showing the few examples of unicellular algae. Now this is based on my research work. So these are the photographs on which it is based on my research. So I've done research on this algae, means identification of this algae, or it is also called as the desmids. So these are the colonial algae. Colonial means they live together and they form one colony. Okay, so a group of cells living together and they forms a colony. Now you can see this nice beautiful rangoli like pattern here. Then these are the colony, you can see these are the colony and the enlarged view, microscopic view of this colony. So if you observe under the microscope, you will get different cell, and this is how the colony. So who help them to live in the colony is the mucilaginous sheath. Now you can see here the transparent layer surrounding this cell. Okay, now these are the different cell living together, and this mucilaginous sheath help them to hold together. Okay, mucilaginous sheath. Now this is the volvox. So many volvox cellular volvox are there. They are forming the colony. This is one colony, another colony. So these are the different colony. Now we also have filamentous algae. The filamentous means thread-like structure. Now this is the Spirogera, this is the Ulothrix, this is Urogonium, and these are the another Morgesia, Cyrogonium. Now these are the gametes of the algae. You can see here beautiful gametes also. These are the gametes. You can see these are the gametes fertilizing. You can see here the two cells fuse together and the gametes are transferred, and this cell is empty, so the gamete is transferred here in this cell. So this is the fertilization taking place in the Spirogera. Now this is the reproductive structure of Oregonium algae. Now based on this chloroplast also, they are classified into different species. Okay, you can see now in the Spirogera also there are many species. You can see here. Okay, so this is the shape of the chloroplast. This is a plate like, this is a ribbon like, so you can see spirally arranged, so that's why it is called as the Spirogera. Now reproduction, they show three different types of reproduction, that is vegetative, asexual and sexual. Now vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Now fragments develop into a thallus, so segments get cut and they form a new thallus. Asexual reproduction by production of different types of spores. The most common is the zoospore. Now zoospores means they are motile spores. They will have flagella. They are flagellated and motile, and on germination give rise to new plant. So they will germinate and they will form a new plant. Now sexual reproduction is by fusion of two gametes, that is male gamete and female gamete. Now gametes can be flagellated and similar in size. Example is Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas and कसे असतात gametes? They are flagellated and both the gametes are similar in size. Or they can be non-flagellated, non-motile. So non-flagella means flagella ना म्हणजे ते motile जाऊचे ना. So flagella helps them in motility, but similar in size. Example in Spirogera. And such reproduction is called isogamous. Okay, so त्या reproduction किती म्हणतात? Isogamous means similar in size असतात का gametes which are similar in size called as the isogamous. Now fusion of two gametes dissimilar in size is called as the anisogamous. Example is some species of Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas may be isogamous or anisogamous. So if it is the gametes are dissimilar in size, it is called as the anisogamous. If gametes is of similar size, you cannot differentiate which is male and female, so it is called as the isogamous. Now fusion between one large non-motile static, that is the female gamete. Female gamete is the static. Static means it doesn't move, and it is, that's why it is called as the non-motile, and it is large compared to the male gamete. And a smaller motile gamete is termed as the oogamous. So these are the three different conditions you find in the sexual reproduction: isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Oogamous means one large gamete, one small gamete, and large gamete is the female gamete which is a non-motile. Example is volvox and fucus algae. Now filamentous algae which are branch. So we have seen the above were the unbranched algae. Now this is the branch algae. So this is Bulbochytae. You can see the chaeta present on this. This is the habit. Now this is one enlarged part. Then this is also another algae. This is Chara. This is the reproductive structure of Chara. This is the Antheridium, and this is the Ogonium. Now uses of algae, very important, or you may get question is the economic importance of algae, or applications of algae, or uses of algae. Now carbon dioxide, so you know that algae, they are the plants, so they fix carbon dioxide through the photosynthesis. So increase the level of dissolved oxygen in their environment. They are the primary producer of energy-rich compounds which form the basis of the food cycle of all aquatic animals. Many species of Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum are marine algae which is used as a food. Now these three species, that is Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum, they are marine algae, but they are used as food in some country. Okay, for example, in Japan and all, you will find the foods item prepared from algae known as the hoshinori, which is prepared from Porphyra. Okay, now Sargassum is also used in making chutney and salad. Okay, now Sargassum we find on our beaches. I'll show you the pictures of this algae. Now certain marine brown and red algae produce large amount of hydrocolloids which has water holding substance. Example is algin which obtained from brown algae, and another hydrocolloid is the carrageen which is obtained from red algae which are used commercially. Now these are the two products obtained from algae, that is algin and carrageen, um, which are used commercially in making different products. So we'll see them. So agar, one of the commercial product obtained from Gelidium and Gracileria, are used to grow microbes and in preparation of ice cream and jellies. So जे तुम्ही आईस्क्रीम खाता, jellies खाता, तेतून कितें यूज करता? A product known as the agar, which is obtained from this algae, Gelidium and Gracileria. Now agar is also used as medium to grow the microorganism. Also in the tissue culture, this agar is used. I will show you the photographs. Now chlorella is a unicellular alga which is rich in protein and used as a food supplement even by the space traveler. You know that for space traveler it is very difficult to carry the food, so they use this the tablets of chlorella and use as a food supplement, which is a unicellular algae. Now so you can see the application. So these are the primary producer phytoplankton in the aquatic habitat. So on this phytoplankton many other species are dependent. So this phytoplankton determines small fish, copepod, then small fish, then larger fish, then you can see how the food chain continues, then birds, animals, and then finally we human being. So they are the primary producer and also they do the function of carbon dioxide fixation and photosynthesis. Now this is the spirulina from which the spirulina tablets are made, and which is very rich in vitamin A and proteins. Okay, so we can use this as a food supplement. Many companies are forms a product from this. They are marketing especially this spirulina tablets, such as Himalaya you will get brand. Now this is the agar obtained from what I spoke previous in the slide. Agar, one of the commercial product from Gelidium and Gracilia. So you can see this agar is used for culturing. You can see many plants growing on this medium, which is agar which is obtained from the algae. Now this is the bacterial culture and this is the plants growing in the medium. Now these are the lichens. The algae form symbiotic association with fungi and they forms the lichens. So they can grow on the stones also or on the trees also they grow. Okay. So you can see the other photographs of lichens. They are different forms. So you can see the fruiting bodies of lichens. So this is growing on the tree and this is on the stone. So you will observe this, and wherever the lichens are present, that means it is an indicator of pollution. So if there is a pollution, you won't find the lichens growing in your locality. So we'll stop here, then we'll see the classification of algae in the next video. Thank you, students.